Okay, welcome to the November 12th Board of Selectmen meeting. Call the meeting to order. First order of business is approve the minutes from the October 8th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Motion is carried. Next item on the agenda is the awarding of the Boston Cane Award. We have a proclamation from the town which says, "Be it known as of this date, November 12th, 2009, that Teresa M. Ingraham is the holder of the town of Raymond's Boston Post cane. In 1909, the Boston Post cane was donated by the Boston, Massachusetts newspaper of the Boston Post to any New England town that qualifies for and requests the cane to be held by the town's oldest citizen. Originally, there were 431 canes throughout New England. This cane is African ebony with a 14-karat gold head inscribed thus, presented by the Boston Post to the oldest citizen of Raymond, Maine, to be transmitted. The original cane is on display in the Raymond Town office." So we're happy that we could move this along to Ingraham and wish her the best luck to hold on to it for quite a while.
And I have a little bit of information about Mrs. Ingraham.
Please.
Teresa Tess Ingraham was I'm sorry, I'll stop reading that part. She's lived in Raymond for the past 38 years. She's been very active in many charitable things in town, and she volunteered as an election worker for a number of years up till 2002. She enjoys knitting, painting, and cooking.
She's a member of the Age-Friendly Committee, and she tells me she's an excellent driver. Enjoys driving and drives frequently. So she's got something I can't do.
Yeah. And she's also 98 years young.
Wow.
Wonderful. Good for her.
Next item is consideration of renewal of liquor license for Ala Mexicana. Any questions from anyone in regards to that?
No, I felt like the fire report was pretty up to date on the things that you had, and I think you have some follow-ups, I think, is on them too.
Right. You want me to stand
Yeah,
at the podium?
please.
Dean Jones, Fire Inspector, down in Raymond. Yes, one of the items that I noted on the cover sheet and actually in the report itself was the grease hood cleaning.
Yeah.
It actually expires tomorrow, and I was hopeful from the date of the inspection that that would have taken place by now. So the items that I listed, I would ask that those be conditions of approval for completion. We gave them till the end of the month to get those items completed, so.
So it's 6 months, every 6 months is what it's saying, that they do it?
Yeah, every
Okay.
6 months for grease hood cleaning, so.
Historically, have they been getting it done on time?
pretty
This
new.
is the first year with Ala Mexicana being in business, so this is new ground for us with this owner. Most of the other facilities get them cleaned prior to the life safety inspection.
I would assume with his experience in this area that he would do that.
Yeah. Do you get a plan of action from the person?
No.
When they do it all? So they don't give you a plan of action when you write up a couple things?
That they're supposed to. And on the date of the inspection, I was informed that he'd be contacting immediately to schedule the grease hood cleaning and to take care of that outside exit door. We've yet to hear back on those two items, so.
Okay. I make a motion to accept the liquor license on this contingent upon them passing the final.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Thank you.
Motion is carried.
May I ask a clarifying question?
The last
Are
one.
you going to sign it tonight and I will hold it until those are complete? Or do you want to hold signing it until those are complete?
I think we signed it last time, didn't we? And you held
I
it.
think you
When does
did.
the license
Yeah.
expire?
It already has expired. He's on an extension. It expired in October.
Okay,
But we don't have to give it to him until, we won't give it to him until,
until it's
Yeah.
cleared.
That's correct.
and then you contact the clerk. Okay, cool, thank you. All right, so who has?
Just to clarify, what I will do is, when those items are clear, I will send another memo stating that those deficiencies have been corrected.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next item, consideration of Rotary Club's annual fishing derby. Sign in blue.
Huh, in blue?
My name is Ingo Hartig,
I have
and I
blue.
reside at
No, it's
21
black.
Oaklets Road in Raymond, and I'm representing the Selectboard Lake Rotary Club,
State rules.
and I would like to respectfully ask to have another fishing derby on the 22nd and 23rd of February of next year. They're changing the rules, the state is changing the rules, there will be no more limit under 26 inches of togue. It's limitless. No more slot limits.
No
for
more
togue.
what?
There's no slot limit
Oh,
for togue under 26 inches. So,
Why is that, do you know?
because they haven't been too successful in the ways from the top down, they were hoping the big fish would eat small fish,
I like his big fish.
like in politics. But
He's gonna start singing Baby
now
Shark
that's why
soon
we do
too.
it. So,
So you need a motion?
yes.
So a motion to.
Move to grant.
There you go.
Second.
discussion? All those in
Oh,
favor?
wait.
Oh, Don?
I just wanted to say that we'll have our annual planning meeting at Public Safety, all agency planning meeting, and so Bruce will be in touch about that, I'm sure, and Sheriff's Office and the IF&W and all the various other public safety entities around the lake. So it's really a collaborative effort with the Rotary Club, which we're pleased to take part in. The bulk of the proceeds, if not all the proceeds, benefit charity, Camp Sunshine.
Yes.
And so it's a nice effort every year, and so we're very happy to be part of that, and we'll see you at the planning meeting.
Right, and it's our 19th derby.
At 1930, and I remember the first one, just like yesterday.
Just like it was 19 months ago.
Yeah, all right.
19 years ago.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work.
See you.
Next item on the agenda is report on the Parks and Recreation Director position investigation. Dawn, Teresa, and Rita.
All right. So I'm gonna just start this out.
You want-
Dawn and Rita have been awesome. Rita's been collecting so much information. Dawn and Rita have been putting together the budgets and
And Kathy's been a part of
Kathy's-
that.
sorry.
Kathy Ricker is here, and also Nathan, who
Kathy's just got a-
couldn't be with
yeah.
us this evening. And so we've been, as she said, basically in the information gathering phase. And so we have some, draft materials which we attached to the agenda packet. But in general, I think it's an exciting new direction for the town, and it's going to take some planning and take some, I think some decisions, and budgetary and otherwise, between now and when we need to roll this off. And by the way, that's pretty quickly, because we're going to be needing to think about advertising in perhaps December, definitely January, with a higher date in January or February. Year one, we think, will basically be running the Tasseltop Park. That's a certainty. We've got that entity we have to successfully manage, and we will. And then we can look at programming. We can look at what we need, to begin to build I think at first a small local recreation effort, but eventually the hope is to bring it to something more akin to what we see in our neighboring communities. So we've been gathering brochures and materials, Rita has. And so I think it's a really exciting opportunity for the town. And so we're going to need to get the right person, and that will be something that we'll do likely as we do all of our hires through an advertisement and then an interview panel. And So that'll be key, getting that person that can do this job, and so that's where we're at right this minute, basically information gathering and studying some of the possibilities. But in order to move forward, we're going to need the Board of Selectmen to say this is a go.
Rita, do you guys want to say something?
I just think the opportunities are endless. We can include the age-friendly group and the Art Alliance, the library. We can offer opportunities not only for the youth, but for the older people in the community.
I told the library, I met at the library yesterday, and I said I'm pushing the Parks and Rec person, but I'm pulling behind the Raymond Arts Alliance, the library, and Age Friendly, and hopefully getting that Raymond Rec program on there too. But to me, this is that person that's going to be pulling together a lot of parts in town as a puzzle, is the way I look at it. And it's not a person taking over, it's a person that's helping pull benefits together and utilize, instead of every group paying for things separately, let's start pulling it together and combining services.
That's an important point. This is not going to mean, the dissolution or end of volunteerism in town. To the contrary, I think it'll let the volunteers be more involved in programming and less involved in the logistics. So it should be a more enjoyable experience for people who would volunteer, and we hope we continue to have strong volunteerism. This would be a back office kind of bureaucratic position in some ways, organizational position, and it also enables the various entities that comprise Raymond Recreation to take advantage of the town's superior opportunities for insurance and things of that nature. We can, obtain coverages much more inexpensively, and we have, the ability under Maine law to have some level of, under the Tort Claims Act, immunity from litigation. So there are a number of things that benefit it as a town department, as opposed to being a private nonprofit recreation association. But we are going to count on and need those volunteers, and so if we go forward, we really need that to continue as well.
Question?
No. What are you looking for now? Is this just information, or is this?
Well, I think
No.
we'd like to roll out a job
Offer. I mean,
a job advertisement,
Yep.
and then begin to solicit candidates and go through the interview process and make a job offer. I guess the worst case is if we decide this is not what we want to do, and we can make this clear during the interview process, we're transitioning to this possible position, and we aren't going to have all the answers tonight. We probably aren't going to have all the answers in a couple of months, but it becomes, worst case, it becomes managing the Tasseltop Park, and so we'll make that clear.
building off of that.
But I really hope that it isn't just that. I hope that it does develop over the next few weeks and months into this recreation position. But I think tonight what we're looking for is to solicit applicants and get somebody in place with the idea that we're going to go forward as a recreation department and to manage the park.
So I brought to you last month a whole plan. And you guys told me okay, whoa, we got to back step. So I back step. So we're baby stepping into this. But baby stepping into this, I think that there's so many. And one of the things I would like to see is, put this ad out. Let's start advertising for somebody, but have a panel of an interview panel from different groups on that panel. I already told you I wouldn't be on that just because I'm the one that pushes the issue, and you guys are good at the interview. But
That's a good point.
there's, like Rita said, there's endless opportunities, working with Age Friendly, working with the smaller kids in town, working with the library, the Arts Alliance, working just to help support rec, in different ways and stuff like that. There's so many things. There's so many things that a Parks and Rec person, and I think, again, people, each committees are spending money on their budgets on things that we can utilize together. So that's where I think that this person would really help, and it would save these individual programs some money.
Yeah. That's another great point. So we should let it be known that we'll be in touch with Raymond Recreation to be certain. We would have one member on the interview panel from that group. we'd probably have, as we normally do, we'll have our HR director, I'll probably be involved, maybe an elected official. We don't want to overwhelm people, but we actually do overwhelm people sometimes with the interviews.
Well,
Don't we?
well, staying
Just
on
a
that-
bit.
But we keep it to 5 or 6 people, and then we'll come up with a standardized outline and go through this in a very deliberate, workmanlike manner, and hopefully find somebody who will fit the bill.
Okay.
Marshall?
Just, I'd stick my hand out there as a representative of Tasseltop to sit on that committee.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Just put on the record. Are we, as a select board, able to just go ahead and hire somebody?
I don't see why not. We wouldn't hire
If
them.
we-
We would,
well-
we would direct Dawn to do it.
If we authorize the position, then it is. The issue is, the issue is always, at the end of the day, is budget and whatnot. But
Right.
if we look at in total where we are, Tasseltop does have somewhat of an income stream, so in the first year, a lot, some of that is, we're gonna mitigate what the impact is in that first half year, because essentially we're only gonna be it's only a half year position. Then for the 2021 budget, it will be built into the budget.
Right, and that would be, that's why I probably wasn't as clear as I could be. That would be made clear during the interview process. And of course, like everything else, it would be subject to town meeting approvals by the Board of Selectmen Budget Committee first before we get to town meeting. I think back to when I first started in this business. I started as an administrative assistant in a small town, and the town manager plan came effective the following March and was subject to the same conditions. When I took the job, it was expressed to me in those terms that here's the job right now, and then this is what the job will be in March if it passes town meeting. So everything in the town, all of our collective, authorizations are relatively speaking connected to the annual town meeting, and that's not something you can predict in advance. But what you can do in advance is you can hire this position, because you're going to need the position to run Tasseltop anyhow, and you have the funding in place to do it.
But you're also keeping that person busy with Age Friendly, Arts Alliance,
right.
Library, working with them, and
And then I would move that we proceed.
Are we allowed to
Okay.
talk? Okay, so I just have a question on,
yeah, microphone.
You have to go through
Sorry,
the
Gail.
microphone.
Oh, yeah, you're going now.
It's just real quick.
Sorry. You're like,
No,
Did I miss the second?
We didn't yet.
Didn't have a second yet.
Okay, so is it a
So you have to state who you are and where you live.
oh, all right, Gail Triano,
Back.
Raymond, Maine. So my biggest question is, the position, the Tasseltop position is more of a management property thing, right? As far as like overseeing the property and stuff like that, and then the rec director is a different, it's the same position, but different criteria. So it's two separate criterias.
I would say two separate, work responsibilities under what will be one job description. But yeah, managing the park will be a big part of the Tasseltop
Parks.
piece and the employees that work in the park. But the rec director, as I envision it, and we haven't done the job description yet, we have a draft, but we haven't got a final job description, but I would envision that the rec director would be responsible, to some entity, perhaps the public works director, perhaps the town manager, I don't know who exactly, but to manage the town's grounds and to collaborate with, probably public works, mostly collaborate with public works and upkeep on those facilities. This person would be looking after ball fields and boat launches and, beaches and whatnot.
Okay.
So that property too would be part of the job. But you're right, I mean, the Tasseltop is about managing that property.
Right, because running a rec portion of it is, because that's what I do, but it's way different than managing properties. You know what I mean? I'm overseeing how the programs run and all that kind of stuff, so I just wanted to make sure that it was it's the same position, but,
I would believe that Tasseltop would come underneath the umbrella of a recreation director, and that would be part of the responsibility that person could very well delegate to a groundskeeper or something down in that area, specific to that area. But the recreation director would have overseeing responsibilities for that and the other two beaches.
okay,
Okay? That's it.
okay, thanks.
So it's been moved, it has not been seconded,
Second.
has there? Okay, it's been seconded. Discussion? All those in favor?
That's a good idea.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
Sorry, John, I'm happy.
Thanks for your comments.
I know, exactly. Thank you, guys.
Okay, next item is consideration of tax abatements. Who's running that for us?
Dawn, you have the papers.
Oh, I have the papers, okay.
Yes, and it
Give me a
requires
blue
the
pen,
town
Todd.
manager's signature.
Want to do it?
Yep, okay.
By the state.
All right, are we giving properties divided into 2 parcels?
So what we're doing is right now what we're doing is we're granting the abatement on these 2 items.
On both of them?
Yeah, but you gotta do them individually because it's 2 separate properties.
Okay, so the motion to approve the abatement on property. It's for Emily DeBias and James DeBias. Stop giving.
Map 015-006.
Oh, 15006, that's what this is.
Yeah.
Any second.
In the amount of,
In the amount
This?
of $1,164.
No.
or
No, $111.64.
$111.64.
okay, so moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried.
All right, motion to approve abatement of April McElhaney and David McElhaney trustees for the April McElhaney, that's hard to say, Living Trust, map lot 003-034 in the amount of $269. Oh my gosh.
So moved.
No, you're seconding. She moved.
Second. I didn't hear I moved.
Motion to,
You moved it, he seconded it. All
Hey.
those in favor? Opposed? Motion is
My
carried.
job.
wait, do we need to sign these?
Yes.
Yes, Don does.
Okay.
All right, give it back.
Next item is RSU withdrawal committee update. We held a meeting, it was,
Two-car,
Sukar.
two-car.
oh,
Gra-
sorry. Consideration of writing off uncollectible personal property taxes. Sorry about that.
That's all
I
right.
didn't mean to steal your thunder.
She's been working hard on this.
Okay, if I stay here, do you want me up at the podium?
You're good.
Well, you're on the mic there,
Okay.
so.
Well, to start off with, I want to thank Todd and Lynn at Cokatosi. They helped me real hard at getting all these people to pay. I sent out letters. They basically ignored mine. He sent out letters, and they started coming in paying. So I do want to thank Todd and Lynn. The ones that are on the list to be written off have moved out of Cokatosi. I only have one left at Cokatosi that has back taxes. I have spoken with them. They have not returned anything as to they were going to research to see if they've paid. And they haven't called me back.
She's not done.
But I think Cokatosi has told me that they cannot have a contract for next year if they can't prove their taxes are paid. So we do have something there. As for businesses, the few that I have on there, 3 of them have closed. I am down to only 4 businesses in town that have not paid. Most of them are very small amounts. I have Jordan Bay Dog Daycare, and I can't seem to find that person. I
Dog
send
daycare?
letters. Yeah, a dog daycare.
There's a couple in town.
There's 2
Yeah.
different ones. There's,
That the one up on Main Street?
I don't even know where it's located. I have just his home address.
What's the amount on that one?
And it's only $31.50, so.
I wonder if that's the one that he closed and it was reopened under, that's the one
No,
that,
different name, yeah.
what's her name opened, Sandra Joshi. That she, that, you know, the one that's next to the kayak.
Right.
Oh, Hello Doggy?
Yeah, because it was a different name 2 years ago. It closed and then it was reopened under.
Oh, so that could be that one.
Well,
How old is that, Sue? How old is that?
That's 19 taxes, so just last year's
19,
taxes.
2019.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it could well, because I think she just opened it last year, but.
Okay.
That's for my dogs. Go. Good day.
The other one is, in business, is Ken Clark's Raymond Service Center. I am in touch with Eric, and he's going to be researching his books also to see, and that's only $122. And then Prime Cut, the meat, which that one is boggling me, because they usually pay, so I don't know if something's going on there
Talk to
or whatever.
Lori.
Hmm?
Lori's the owner down there.
Yeah, I don't know if something, because they didn't pay this year's either, which they usually pay it right up front, real quick.
And what's the other one? You had the first one you listed off.
The first one was Jordan Bay Dog Daycare, then the Raymond Service Center, Prime Cut, and the big one is Fisherman's Catch.
Really?
That was brought up before.
Yes.
Have you heard any
Yeah.
more?
He made a payment for this year's taxes, but we put everything always on the back taxes. So I applied it to his back taxes and wrote him a letter stating that I took that money from this year and applied it to your old taxes.
Have you heard anything?
But I have not heard a thing from him.
How much is that one?
And that one is just about $1,000.
Okay. Well, let's give it a little time and what do you think?
Well, the ones that she's got on the list.
Oh, no, yeah, no, I was looking at these things.
So she's, yeah, Sue's still working those, so that's, those are not in.
Yeah, they're not on the
Consideration.
list.
So I make a motion to write off the properties that are listed on this list in the amount of $5,830.72.
Second?
I'll second that.
Okay,
Are the units the units here that are at Cocatosi, are those units still there, or are they gone also? I'm confused about that.
Yeah, that one, some of them have moved out
Okay.
and they've moved their
Moved
trailer
the
out.
units out too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them just sold. They can
Sell
sell
'em,
them
yeah,
back
like a
down
house
there
type, yeah.
constantly. so.
Okay, I second that.
Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried.
Thanks, Sue, for all your work on that.
I don't like it either, but, she's spinning the wheels.
Oh, but there was a list. There was a
But
big
the
list
fact
from
that, you know,
before.
Your alternative is you're gonna spend a whole lot more
Right.
trying to collect that amount, and you'll probably never get it.
But something you have to know too is the previous owner of Cocatosi also told them not to pay.
Right.
And now these new owners have been working
Oh,
with
yeah.
Sue to get the people to pay, which has been
And I
great.
think the first year, now that they know that the town is going to,
That they're working with it, yeah.
working with Cocatosi, I think everybody's gonna start paying.
We're writing off the $1,000,
We're only rating off on that list, not on those businesses though.
No.
We didn't do the businesses,
I've seen it.
because those are still, you know, she's still working those. These are the ones
Okay.
that either the business closed, so you have nothing there, or they've left town, you know, they've left the
Right.
park, so you've got nothing you can apply against.
Okay.
Time is better spent elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, next item.
you.
Thanks, Sue. Is RSU Withdrawal Committee update. We did have a meeting about 2 weeks ago. We've done some more wording changes and things in the separation agreement, so that is going back to the school board for their inputs and any changes from there, so that's moving along. The Marshall's group, budget group, has been doing a lot of work on getting a draft budget set up so that that can be looked at. The programs committee actually did have a meeting and has done some work, but they've got more work to do there as far as what they, you know, what would like to be seen as programs that exist for a new school unit. If, you know, if we go that way, what do they have that they like? What can they do better? What can they add on there? So, next meeting is, what's the date on that?
December 9th.
December 9th. And the meetings, with the exception of the discussions on the separation agreement, which are done in executive session, but the rest of the meeting is all open meetings, so we're looking for input from people, so people feel free to show up, give their inputs on there, because that's the only way we're going to know what people are thinking. Any public comment? Selectman comment? Okay, town manager's report in communications.
I'd like to confirm the dates for the upcoming regular meetings. So we have December 10th and then January 14th of 2020.
I have a meeting the 8th, the 9th, the 10th. That's going to be the pits. I have a meeting the 8th, the 9th, the 10th then.
Yep. Good for you.
No, it's not.
One's in the morning, you're all set.
Are we
The
good?
8th.
And January 14th is all right for everybody?
Good.
Okay, so those are confirmed.
Okay, are we good?
Yep.
So as a reminder of the upcoming holiday schedule, Thursday, November 28th, Thanksgiving Day, Friday, November 29th, day after Thanksgiving. I would also like to say, time is flying right by. We're headed to another budget year, so be thinking about your budget goals for December. That'll be on the Board of Selectmen meeting agenda, as will be the schedule. And so we've had our first storm. Nathan has survived his first storm, plowing the entire town, so I didn't get any complaints. That was nice. So we, unless we have any complaints here in the room, I hear some laughter. Hopefully not. But so that we, as you know, for many years we've been partially, roughly half the plowing has been by contract. So last night it was the town alone, and like most things, winter related, didn't go without some level of mishap, but we got through it, and so we'll get better and better at that, hopefully, and that's what I have to say about winter operations. It's likely to get worse before it gets better in terms of weather, though. That's all.
Okay. Treasurer's warrant.
Motion to accept the treasurer's warrant in the amount of $149,972.02.
Second?
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Okay. The next items on the agenda are going to be executive sessions, so...
I need to give you a motion on that, right?
Yep.
All right, a motion to go into executive session regarding consideration of application for poverty abatement pursuant to 1 MRSA Section 405, 6F.
Second.
And you want to do the other one too?
Are we going to come out of there or just do them both while we're in there?
No, we can do, but we can go in and we'll just have to move anything is separate coming back out.
Okay, and also to go into motion to executive session consideration of leasing property pursuant to 1 MRSA Section 405, 6C.
For a second?
Second. What kind of property?
Leasing.
Leasing.
All those in
You said
favor?
leaking.
So,
Opposed? Okay. So we are going into executive session, so we'll be closing the regular open part of the meeting.
Lorraine, thank you for all the help with the newspaper.
Okay, we'll come back out of the executive session. There's 2 action items on there.
I make a motion to give Dawn authorization to negotiate a lease that's best for the town.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion is carried.
The second one was to consider a petition for poverty abatement. I recommend that we deny at this time, but allow the gentleman or lady to reapply.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
You didn't want to adjourn, did you?
Wait,